Hey everyone, Rogue Vegan here. Yes, some vegans do get sick. So sorry. I don't think it's the flu that's going around because I don't have a fever, but I still have other symptoms for it, so bear with me. So a lot of stuff's happened. So my Prince poster kind of died. It's sad, but it's kind of neat because at night I can take a laser light and play with the kittens. Now, you're on pillows on a TV tray to be high enough for me. I just did, and I'm putting it up now. Up unboxing, which I wanted to get out of the way first before I started talking about this stuff. My grandmother passed away last week, and I know I don't have many viewers, and I know if you are watching this, you probably don't know me. If you do, great. If you don't, great. But when I was growing up, while my dad's dad was in my life, my mom's parents were like parents to me. And a lot of people, when I would say, oh, that's my dad's brother, like talking about my Uncle John, who is my father's brother, they would think my granddaddy's brother. They wouldn't think my daddy's brother, because that's how close I was with my mom's parents. When she was working and I needed someone to watch me, I had a babysitter like once. And then, there's my soda. But my grandparents always watched me, took care of me, taught me to drive. They pretty much did everything that parents are supposed to do. You didn't see that. Oh, you didn't see that. Anyway, it's a Dr. Pepper. I wanted a Dr. Pepper, okay? Dr. Pepper's vegan. And I'll talk to you guys about why I go to non-vegan establishments and get vegan things. Why I'm okay with that, anyway. I also have some fries over here I'm about to eat, and some salad with just ranch. But anyway, my grandmother passed away. She's not been well for a while. She had dementia issues, so she got to where she couldn't walk sometime in the summer, by the end of the summer even. And it seemed like almost overnight she was bedridden. She could sit up for a while, but when she stopped being able to walk, it was like she lost her depth perception. She tried to take a step, it'd be like itty bitty steps. And she tried to take a bite of her food, and it'd be just itty bitty bite. And she would be like, oh, I can't put all that in my mouth. And it got to where she couldn't use her words right. She did have a stroke or two, little ones, along the way. And they were able to put her in hospice, which I never fully understood what hospice meant. I still don't now, but they brought in a hospital bed that her insurance and everything paid for, or whoever it was paid for. And like over Thanksgiving and Christmas, she was in the bed. So she'd not been well for a while. My mom has basically been killing herself taking care of her and my grandfather. Grandma was 93, granddaddy's 96. Granddaddy's very honoring. Very much it's going to be his way. He was deaf, refused to wear a hearing aid. The TV was always up too loud. It caused a lot of stress. My mom was finally talking about putting her in a home where she could get regular care. So she fell. My mom couldn't pick her up. Granddaddy can't do it because he has his health problems. So she'd not been well for a while. And she's gone to the emergency room a few times. So we didn't. My mom knew. I was talking to my mom on the phone that night. And my grandmother was making this noise. And I don't want to go into more details about that part, but my mom's still on the phone with me, and she said, oh my God, her fingers are blue. Her nails are blue. And I said, hang up the phone, call 911, I'm on my way. So I went over there, and a family friend they had to take my grandfather to the emergency room the night before, I think, or a night or two before, because he fell and hurt himself really bad. But was able to come home. No, not because he fell, I'm sorry. He was having back pain, and they thought it was his kidneys. This doctor is an idiot and put him on a regimen of Tylenol. You don't take Tylenol every day unless you want to lose your kidneys. It was his back. He sprained it. Anyway, so he got to come home. But the friend of the family came over, and as they were pulling out of the street my grandparents lived on, I was pulling in, so I stopped and talked to them. And I went in and checked on Granddaddy and made sure he knew I was there. And he was about out of it because he was taking pain pills. But he knew that he knew Grandma was going to the hospital. He didn't know that she was already out of the house and on the way in the ambulance. Side note, my grandmother did not have an official DNR paperwork or anything. So if you do not want to be resuscitated, please go do that now. She didn't want to be, but because nothing was legal, they had to keep trying. Which, anyway. Then I went to the hospital. And I sat in the room, and it was our family friend who said my grandma was like a sister to her. And my mom. And family members were telling me at the funeral that I'm going to be glad that I was there. No, I won't. I kind of wish I wasn't, but my mom wanted me there. And I didn't know what else to do. And so I watched her die. And I don't deal well with that. Sounds selfish, but Grandmama didn't know what was going on. She didn't know I was there. So after we left the hospital, which has pretty much no signal, I had a little bit of signal, but I waited till I got in the car. And as I was driving back to my grandparents' house, I did call my boyfriend and let him know what happened, and the call dropped. But my phone was dying anyway, and I was just tired. Hey, Callie. Callie sticking her nose in. It's okay, baby. You can wait. She wants to be fed. We had to tell Granddaddy, and my mom said she'd tell him. He was surprised. He thought she was going to come back, because she always came back, but I think he may have looked at my face and known, because I've always been closer to him than anyone else. When I say anyone else, like, it was just me and him and Grandma and Donna and my mom, the four of us. So, out of the four of us, I was always closest to him. I say I was a granddaddy's girl, because I was. And I am, I guess. And I thought he knew when he looked at me, and I kept having to leave the room. They were married over 70 years, and I can't imagine, number one, being with someone that long, and number two, losing them. And I keep making this joke that he's going to outlive all of us, but I got a feeling that's going to happen now. I don't really have like a best friend or anything like that. And I was angry at the situation and very upset. And the next day, I went home. I came home. This is where I live. This is my bed. And I did sleep, and I got up the next day and went with my mom. And that same friend in the family went with us to the funeral home. Legally, all the paperwork, all the bank accounts, things like that have my mom's name on it, so that was fine. They did that with she did that with my grandparents and the will stuff, all that kind of crap years ago, but they didn't. And my grandparents already have burial plots. There's actually even one for my mom and me, right behind my freaking grandparents. But their funeral arrangements hadn't been made, so we had to go pick out their coffin and talk to them about flowers and stuff. She wanted a closed casket, so we chose not to have her embalmed, which I appreciated because of, planet-friendly stuff. I didn't get a picture of the coffin. Kind of wish I had. Chose pink roses because she liked them. She liked roses. She could stick a twig in the ground and grow a rose bush. She was just that kind of person. Couldn't cook for anything. I mean, she cooked, but she said that in spite of it all, I became a good cook. That me became a good cook because she couldn't cook, and my mom can't cook, and no one taught me. I learned myself. That's how life goes. Anyway, I didn't really hear from my boyfriend at all that day. And that kind of pissed me off. Because I told him not long ago that my grandparents were going to go soon, and I was really going to need him to be there. And he wasn't. Normally when I'm upset, I go to my mom about things, but I didn't have anyone to. So for over 12 hours, I didn't hear from him, and I didn't message him either because I was hurting, And I needed more than just a text. He would normally send me texts in the morning that would say good morning love bug or something stupid and sweet like that. And you know, I like the good morning text because I've never really had that before. He sent morning, one word. And he tried to call me that night. And hung up before I could answer it. Didn't leave a message. And I waited almost about 30 minutes to see if the message came through or if he texted me or anything. He didn't. And of course I got mad at him. Because he loves me. He's in love with me. And I've been worried about this because I think I'm pretty sure I was his first serious relationship. And one of the messed up things is he watches these. So he's going to see this, and I don't know how to block him from it. I can't look at him right now. He's not on my Facebook anymore because of this. I can't. The funeral was the next day. I shared, once the funeral arrangements were made, the Thursday, because she died Wednesday night, late. Like 11:11, which, stupid wishes. 11:11. Man. I had copy and pasted the information that was going to be the obituary and shared it on Facebook after I had made an official announcement on Facebook where I tagged my mom and my grandfather. My granddaddy doesn't get on his Facebook anymore, and it was the easiest way for us to let a bunch of people know. A friend of my mom's did post something that night, tagged my mom in it, and I was furious because no family member should find out that way, you know, and I was afraid they would. I shared the obituary information. Oh, she also called that friend also called some other family members for us, which was weird. Anyway, the funeral was the next day. All day I didn't hear from my boyfriend again. I kind of kept looking for him to show up. In his defense, he doesn't drive. Not in his defense, he has lots of friends and he knows people that I'm sure would have found a way to get him to me. Or at least he could have been texting me all day or something. So I'm sitting there looking for him, scared to death that my father's going to show up because I don't want to see that man. I'm having to try to keep it together. I'm having to yell in my granddaddy's ear every 5 minutes because he can't hear anybody and doesn't remember who half the people are. My mom was very relieved when it was all done because she's so tired. Granddaddy seems to be doing okay. He's always been pretty logical, and we knew it was going to happen, and Grandmama hadn't been herself in so long. I ended up arguing with the boyfriend, and we finally broke up. Something I kind of been thinking about because things weren't going right. He broke a few things around the house. He even stopped up my toilet and then apologized and then said, well, I don't know if I'm even the one that did it. And 5 years that toilet don't go stopped up until he comes in. Vegan problem. We don't stop up toilets. Anywho, the boyfriend tried to say that he should have canceled band practice. I'm sorry, he was in a band. Band practice that Thursday night and called me. Remember, he doesn't drive, so he's got time. He's not driving, so he's sitting in the passenger seat on the way to work. And I'm pretty sure he got a lunch, so he could have sent me a text on the way home from work while he's sitting in the passenger seat. Couple of breaks. He could have said, hey guys, I gotta check on my girl. Her grandmother just died. And I've got, maybe his coworkers wouldn't have understood. No, I think they would have. I met his boss, who's also his landlord. Anyway. And what about in between work and band practice? And what about in the car on the way to band practice, on the way from band practice? While he's at band practice, I'm friends with a couple of those guys. They would have understood, hey man, I gotta check on Chris. I gotta check on Rogue and see what's going on with her. It's my girl. Her grandmother just died. Could you take me over there? Something. But he didn't. And he'd say he was sorry. But he'd say, I'm sorry. Don't go over there, Cass. This is Cassius. I'm sure you've met him. This is my man. I'm keeping an eye on that one eye. It looks a little puffy. This is my man. So he tried to say it was band practice's fault. And he apologized and admitted like he hurt me and couldn't make it up to me or stuff like that, which no, he can't. And I admitted to him that I'm thinking we don't need to be together or whatever I said, and he seemed okay with that, so it's over. And that's fine. It needed to be over anyway. I know I don't need to be with someone who can't be there for me, because you know what? I need someone stronger than me. And I'm pretty effing strong. But I really need someone stronger than me. And it'd be nice for it to be a human. I'm petty Cassius right here. And I don't think he thinks he did anything wrong. I don't think it's really his fault. I think he's just an idiot. Don't know which would you think would be worse, to be a heartless bastard or an idiot? You know? So anyway, wanted to record this and kind of get it out because I feel a little better, I guess. I did have some people on Facebook actually be there for me. I was really surprised for it. Facebook friends, a friend of mine. She's lives close enough, but not close enough, you know, a few hours, something like that. I can't remember, Michelle, how far away you are. She's been checking on me. She lost her mom a while ago, so the cats are making the pillows at the laptops on them. By the way, I don't have lipstick on like a crazy lady. My lips are chapped. I'm so stressed. I know I'm dehydrated. I'm tired. My house is a total wreck. So if anybody wants to pay for someone to come clean my house, then I'm just going to need to get a carpet cleaner. I can do it myself. I just don't want to right now. I don't want to do anything. I'm really sad. I had to take a weekend off from work. I started a second job delivering pizzas for a pizza company that does have vegan options. And Super Bowl weekend is the busiest, the best weekend to make those delivery tips, man. I couldn't do it. But my boss there is great. Oh, Cass, no. Oh, both of you almost fell. My boss there is amazing. And he totally understood. And that was so surprising because so many bosses are like, tough shit. It's not your mom or dad. Oh, well. Anywho. And I've been told other jobs. Yeah, no, they're just your grandparents if they die. Too bad. Cassius. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Look at his face. He's purring up a storm. So if you know my mom, don't be afraid to check up on her. And me too. And if you're not prepared to be there for the ones you love during the bad stuff, don't try to be there during the good stuff either. This month is my 10-year vegan anniversary. She died on the 31st of January, February. So I'm just going to go back to celebrating Valentine's Day as my vegan anniversary. Alright, well, you guys have a great night, day, whatever it is for you, and for the love of everything, go vegan.